Lost in the radio labyrinth. We're gonna rock it like we're still young kids. Laughing at the world, but jokes never fade away. And at the radio labyrinth, we'll never be swayed.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Radio Labyrinth. This is Season 9, Episode 13. And welcome to any of our new listeners that possibly are bots, but I don't know. Maybe they are. But if you're a new listener and you're coming back for another episode, thank you for watching in the first place. And we hope you enjoy it because we have fun doing this show. And we want more people to enjoy it and contribute and all that jazz. But yeah, last week, Dustin, tell us what the hell happened. Why are we getting all these views? You're buying.
If you are a bot, 1100110011001100.
Hey, watch your mouth.
Yeah. We're not buying these, are we, Dustin? Is that what's going on? Or are we just surfing the wave of...
We're just riding the wave of what's happening. Most of what was last week's viewership was not due to Joe Rogan. It was due to us being on the back end of a lot of quiet on the set videos.
Yeah. Which, by the way, you guys are all watched it all, right? You've seen every episode.
Mm-hmm. I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it, but I'm behind on it. And the third episode, I just started getting really angry. Like, I get that Dan Schneider is a jerk, or was a jerk to a lot of people there, and he had outdated views of women in the workplace and stuff like that. And he was kind of a creep. And a lot of the jokes that people are putting, well, he splashed water on her face, and it's supposed to look like, a J shot or something. I get all of that and I understand it. But the fact that Nickelodeon had 3 pedophiles working at the same time and none of them really got into any trouble. Well, that guy got 16 months for being Drake Bell.
Yeah. There's a 5th episode being put out for this, so it's not over yet.
Oh, geez. This is only 4, so we only have 1 more to watch. Okay. But
they're saying they want Amanda Bynes to come on and tell her story too. They're saying that.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that to her. Don't do that to her. That's just for clicks and views and eyeballs. Don't do that to her. That poor girl. I feel so bad for anytime she comes into my TikTok feed. I immediately, she'll start talking and I swipe away because I just feel terrible for that poor girl. Now, I don't know what happened. Is she in the 4th episode? Did they talk about her downfall?
No.
No, they don't?
No. Okay,
then they need the 5th episode because nobody knows what happened to her. What happened to her? Really, nobody knows.
Everybody's saying it's her story to tell, and if she wants to tell it, they want to hear it.
If she wants to, but when you hear her, do you ever see her on social media?
Yeah, I see her on TikTok.
I feel so terrible for her.
I thought she was bipolar.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, she may have been diddled as well, but she is also bipolar.
Yeah.
And she likes...
Does that manifest when you're older? Because it didn't when she was on the show, right?
Well, they don't diagnose it until you're older.
Okay. You can through puberty.
Yeah, I mean, you can be bipolar from the time you're 7 or 8, but they won't say that you're bipolar until you're like 16.
So they can get you on meds.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you're bipolar, you need the meds.
Yeah.
You need them. And you know how it is. People don't take them because they like those highs. The lows are terrible, but the highs are so much fun.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then the meds just make you flat.
Well, okay. So in one way, I want to see her story, but I want her to be able to tell it in a way where she feels comfortable because I don't like seeing people in that kind of mental state, being abused or used for clicks and likes and eyeballs and such.
One of the things that they're talking about, or that I've seen around on the internet, is that the reason they didn't go after Dan with any type of proof was because if they tried to before anything came out legally, they wouldn't be admissible.
Okay.
And so they held off on certain things because the biggest one right now that everybody wants to know,
Amy Lynn Spears.
Yes, her child.
Yes.
They think that's his.
Well, how old is that child?
14?
14?
Something like that.
Good God. Jamie had her first daughter, Maddie, with ex-boyfriend Casey Aldridge in 2007.
Yeah, and that's what's in question.
Oh, that kid didn't look like her.
No.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything. We'll get in trouble. I never really cared about any of this stuff because by the time that stuff was on Nickelodeon, if I'd been watching it by myself, there would have been suspicions. So those shows were for kids, not adults in their 30s. However, I am interested in seeing that final episode. So, yeah.
How come every time I came home from work, you were covered in green slime?
No, that was because I was watching Hulk porn.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. So we talked about the algorithms and stuff at the beginning of the show, and it wasn't necessarily Joe Rogan, but there is a Joe Rogan story. The story came out, and it's on unilad.com. I don't know what that is. I guess that's a kid with one eyebrow. Unilad. But they finally Spotify released his numbers, and Rogan reaches over 14.5 million people with every episode.
Yeah, what's crazy is those numbers are only his follower numbers. Those are people that assign. So the people that just watch, randomly didn't even count. So it's probably closer to 20.
Yeah. He's 14.5 million. And then way below that, like 9.5 million less, TED Talks and Stuff You Should Know, which started here. That's 3.2 million. And it just keeps going down and down and down and down and down and down. This past weekend with Theo Von, 1.1 million. And he has a lot of followers. Yeah. And a lot of views and stuff, too. So
notice who's not on there.
Us?
Well, besides us.
Who?
Anybody in the Burt sphere.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're losing it. They're losing their audience. But then again, there's a whole industry of people that make money and get clicks and views trashing them every single day.
True.
What's Tim Dillon's haul?
He's not on this list. I find him to be comfy. I like his show is a comfort for me.
It is.
He's funny. He does a lot of yelling. He doesn't care what he says. And I just find him nice and comfy.
Yeah. It's a sanity in an insane world.
Sort of how I like to watch Dudesy because it's completely absurdist, although I miss the Tom Hanks AI parodies they used to do, but they don't do any celebrities anymore unless it's Will doing the voice.
Do you think if Rogan ran for president, he'd have a shot?
No, because there are way more people who vote for president than watch him every day. No, I don't think he'd have a chance. Because then he'd have to reveal, oh, I don't know that. You know what I mean? He wouldn't do well. I think people vote for Theo because he's hot and he's got a mullet.
Oh, yeah.
I'd vote for Theo Von.
Sure.
I didn't realize the show had been on that long.
Who, Theo? Yeah, I didn't either until I started looking.
I didn't know there was a TV show of it.
I didn't either. When the fuck was that?
It was on Comedy Central in 2018. They did 5 episodes. Mm-hmm. And it's called Last Week. It's the same title. Man.
Yeah, Comedy Central is in a network for independent thought these days. And people talk back and forth. Oh, we've reached peak podcast. I just think you have to innovate, sort of like we have. But again, if you're new here, please leave a comment and stay. Don't go anywhere. Don't end up being like P Diddy, unable to locate. News, trailers, and trends with Steph. P Diddy. That's the biggest story in the country right now, behind the boat.
P Diddler. It's kind of funny, though, that you guys talked about Quiet on the Set. Mm-hmm. Because yet again, this sounds like some more youngsters.
This sounds worse.
Well, it just seems like if you're going to be a billionaire, that you have to rape children. It's one it really kind of seems to be. You don't have to.
I mean, you might want to, and you might feel that you have enough money, and you might think that you're able to, but you don't have to. You can have a robot made or a doll. I know it's not the same.
Is it part of being in the Illuminati? I mean, is that the thing, though? If you're in the Illuminati, that you have to...
I thought they ate the babies.
No, that's the spirit cookers. That's the Hillary Clinton. The Hillary Clinton people and the politics people, they eat them.
Oh.
And the people in the rap moguls, they have sex with them. And
in the acting industry.
And well, the acting industry
the Weinsteiners.
Yeah, the Weinsteiners. But they were all of age, all the Weinsteiners.
Yeah.
He's just a big fat creep who
That's
said,
true.
I'll get you into a movie.
That's true.
And Meryl Streep was too old for that, so he just put her in the movie anyway. Meryl Streep and Oprah knew what was going on. I had to.
Yeah. Well, maybe not to that degree. I don't think they knew that it was going on. I want to believe that Meryl Streep would not know that and just be like, yeah, okay.
She knows that there was a casting couch. She might not have ever had to get on it because
everybody had a casting couch back then, though.
Yeah, yeah.
But that doesn't absolve it.
Have you ever read the Godfather book? I know it doesn't absolve it. It's not good. Have you ever read the book, The Godfather by Mario Puzo? Not just seen the movie, read the book.
Yeah, there's a whole casting couch section.
Let me tell you. When Tom Hagen, you guys remember Don Vito sends Tom Hagen out to California to meet with Jack Waltz. My Kraut Mick friend. He sends him out there so he can get Johnny Fontane a role in a movie. Okay. And he gets out there.
Just to show you that I'm not a hard-hearted man, that it's not all dollars and cents. She was young. She was innocent. She was the greatest piece of ass I've ever had, and I've had them all over the world.
Well, they're in the book. When Tom Hagen gets there, he sees a mother and her daughter go into the house, and while he's waiting for Jack Waltz, the mother leaves, and then the girl comes out looking all disheveled and everything. And it's like Jack Waltz banged this girl, and it's supposed to be like Shirley Temple. So that's not based on a rumor. I mean, if you go back and watch the short movies, the little shorts that Shirley Temple made before she was in these big movies, and even in the movies, a lot of that stuff is sexualized. There's documentaries, but they're.
Are you saying she had it coming because she was wearing little shorts?
No, I'm not saying it at all. No, don't put those words in my mouth.
I don't like any of this talk about the little princess at all.
Listen, there's movies where she is an explorer and there's a guy with her, and then they're in a pot. And then, of course, they're in a jungle. And of course, the person cooking them is a little black baby. And he's like shoving a hose in her mouth. There's all this super sexualized stuff in these old, like, they had sound, but they were before she was in all these movies. And then every movie she's in as a little kid, she's always an orphan or a waif being rescued by an adult male who doesn't seem to have a wife. And she's always straddling them. So you don't notice these things when you're a little kid. You have to grow up and go, God, that's kind of weird.
But couldn't you get married when you were like 12 then?
Probably. You can get married when you're 12 now, as long as your parents say it's okay. I'm just saying that this has existed in Hollywood since its inception. And what's going on in with P Diddy, though, that's weird stuff. If you really dive into the stuff people are saying, it's crazy. Like,
I think we all knew those. Whenever when he settled with her the very next day, when she made the accusations against him, his former live-in lover and whatever R&B songstress. I mean, for him to settle the next day, you knew there were more to come. And then there was like 3 more chicks came out. And of course, we saw Kat's comments about him on Club Shay Shay.
Oh, that's right. You know, I turned down $4 million 10 times. When Diddy wants to party, you have to say no.
What happens if you say yes?
Then you get what Kevin Hart got. And I don't want to say it, but there were 2 people in that bed. You end up like Meek Mill. Well, look, then all these videos are coming out now, like of Justin Bieber. Which P Diddy's like, what do you want to do? I don't know. Let's go get some girls. P Diddy looks pissed. I don't want to do that.
Well, yeah. Then Usher talked about when he was 14 or 15 and he went to one of these little camps or whatever that was and he said there was a lot of stuff going on there that he should not have seen.
Yeah.
Or been around.
And everything is hearsay. Everything is alleged. And whenever, like, even with the boat that crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Logical answer, logical reason why it happened. It was a tragedy. You know, a bunch of people lost their lives. But immediately, conspiracy. There's tons of stupid conspiracies about it. And the same with this. It's
because of the Star Spangled Banner?
Well, yeah, he wrote it. But, say, can you see P. Diddy?
The bridge took a knee.
But every single, but every room, it did. The bridge went down on the boat. Every room in P Diddy's house allegedly has cameras in it, and they use it to blackmail up and coming celebrities.
Not allegedly. No, does.
Okay.
They found hundreds of cameras today.
The alleged use of those was to videotape people having sex. But you can think about after Hugh Hefner died. He didn't own the house anymore, but he still had stuff stored there. Someone had to go into a storage room and remove thousands of video cassettes of sexual encounters that people had had there. And think about every celebrity that went there for 50, 60 years or however long it was open. That stuff has to go because the wrong person gets it and careers are done and allegations are made. And the same thing's going to happen here because, you can connect P. Diddy to, did he have something to do with Tupac's murder? Did he have something to do with Biggie's murder? Does Jay-Z have involvement in this? These are all the things that are floating around out there.
Yeah, the Jay-Z thing, I mean, that was all on Twitter. That he was trending all the same day because everybody kept saying Jay-Z's next. They're coming for Jay-Z next because
I think of him as a self-made millionaire.
It's not that. It's the rumor that he had this woman killed back in 2010 that he impregnated on the side while he was with Beyonce. And then
that's allegation. Come on.
Right. But that's part of one of the things that they're saying that they have swept under the rug, what have you. But they did find guns in his house. I mean, this was like a Homeland Security raid. This was wild.
His son's out at gunpoint. Another thing with Jay-Z is they say he had Aaliyah killed. That's another conspiracy I saw. I just don't believe these things. They get way out of control. Nobody can regulate them.
Well, that's true. But where I would, I don't know if we could ask possibly Bernie Sanders might know where Puff Diddy is now because
I don't know where he is. I have no idea where Bernie Sanders is. I know where I am.
Weren't they tracking his plane?
Yeah, but he's not on it.
You turned the transponder off. I'm deep into this conspiracy shit like Joe Rogan and Alex Jones. I just don't want to get dragged into it. I'm on top of it. I know. I pay attention to everything. But I do want to say, on my next episode of the Bernie podcast, sex researcher and OnlyFans model Ayla. You guys know Ayla? She's beautiful. She was on Lex Friedman. 3 hours of her talking about all sorts of crazy stuff. We're going to talk about psychedelic drugs, the relationship spectrum, and how she only showers 10 to 15 times a year and why that's good for your body and mind. And, of course, her recent gangbang. She did a gangbang, like 25 guys. She had a lot of fluffers there. I don't know if you've ever been to a gangbang, but it's wild. It's wild. You have to bring nose plugs or Noxzema, put it under your nostrils. It doesn't smell. Wait till you hear her on Burning for You. And by the way, this week's episode, I got to read it because I got my readers on. It's brought to you by Smell of Fresh, the ultimate all-natural vaginal cleaning cream. Available now in 4 flavors: strawberry, lavender, coconut, and Korean barbecue. Ladies, keep it fresh. Keep it smell of fresh. Use code word Bernie and save 10% on checkout. You will not regret it. If your front hole stinks or whatever, I don't know. Look, I know I'm supposed to know what all these things are called. But try the Korean barbecue. It's delicious.
I'm really worried that my dog would bite my crotch off if it smelled like Korean barbecue. I still think that's a good idea.
There's a risk in anything, but, rinse out. Don't be like Ayla Girl. Rinse out when you're done. Ayla Girl, no showers. Ridiculous.
Well, I want to know, what do you guys think is going to end up panning out from this? One thing, is he going to show up? Because, he sent a word from his lawyer stating that, all this was completely...
Where is he?
Nobody knows.
He's going to get
they tracked his plane to Antigua or whatever. Yeah. Supposedly he was on his way out of town when this whole thing happened. He just happened to be on his way out of town to the Caribbean on a vacation with his family.
I don't know.
Except for his 2 sons that he left to take the fall.
I don't know where Puffy Didstein is.
He's at Roman Polanski's house.
In France. Or where he lives. Sweden now, doesn't he? He lives someplace where you can't get extradited.
Who's on Epstein's Island anymore? Didn't he just go there, wouldn't you think?
No, that's owned by somebody, and they dismantled it. Of course, they had to go there and get rid of everything. They got raided. And they took everything out of it, and you never saw any of it.
Well, they found all those hidden cameras, so I'm wondering if they took some hard drives out of the house, what else they confiscated.
I want to see somebody doing a train on Rosie O'Donnell. Did that happen in that house? Because if that did, I want it on the show.
They only caught his drug mule too. They didn't get the guy that had 500 flash drives shoved up his ass.
that's the main one.
Yeah, they thought they were going to get the coke, and no,
they didn't
Sandisk.
want. Yeah, they wanted the drugs, or they wanted the flash drives, but they just got the drugs.
Of course, 50 Cent, he hates P Diddy and has been trolling him for years, so he couldn't wait.
And Jay-Z. He hates Jay-Z too,
yes,
right?
he does. Yes, but he couldn't wait to get on there and go off and make fun of him, and that was very funny. But my favorite Twitter video yesterday was of the neighbor. Did you see the one of the neighbor and that Bugatti?
I love the neighbor. Yeah, my ball rolls in his yard. I just leave that shit. That one?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you got to see it at 3 o'clock in the morning, buses rolling up,
Yeah.
all kinds of everything coming off of them.
But that line up my ball. The guy's driving away in a Bentley, by the way.
Yeah, right.
My favorite little twist to all of this is, and it's very much buried, is that Prince Harry is named in one of the lawsuits.
But it's only because he is such an upper class name that it allowed Puffy to rub shoulders with people that he normally wouldn't have been able to get to.
Yep. Oh well.
Yeah.
But Harry
used
didn't
used his name. Yeah,
because he produced some show back whenever Harry and
Meghan.
it was for Princess Diana's memorial service or whatever.
Oh,
He helped
okay.
produce that.
All I know is vote or die.
Said vote, bitch, or I fucking kill you. Vote or die. Vote or die.
They made fun of that on South Park so well. Vote or
They
die.
were so right about that. If it does come out that he had something to do with Tupac or Biggie, that would be wonderful for us to finally know that it was this little shithead the whole time.
Tupac got the hell out of that shit. He got away from that stuff. He wanted.
thought he did.
Well, and they didn't make it. All right, we can talk about something else.
Okay, well, this must be Jeffrey who put in about the blue milk.
Yeah.
With Star Wars, if you're a big Star Wars fan, you know that they drink the blue milk. Is it in the cantina where you can get the blue milk?
No, you got to get it straight from the teat of that monster on that island.
That was the green milk.
The blue
okay.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, what were they milking? Banthas?
To get the blue, I don't know.
I never understood why they lived on a desert planet and their native creature was a woolly mammoth. Like, that thing would fucking die.
Okay, I'm going to really show my nerd side, but
Go ahead.
Tatooine wasn't always a desert planet. At one time,
I know
it was tropical.
I can't.
That's not canon. That's not canon. That's not canon, Justin. You're wrong.
Actually,
It was not always.
It's just a planet full of pangolins.
Hey, Jabba, give me a glass of that blue milk, would you?
Yeah. Well, the blue milk is going to be a delicious vanilla flavored milk with blue food coloring, and you'll start seeing it on your grocery shelves April 17th.
Can't wait.
You gonna try the True Moo blue milk?
Me? No.
Yeah.
No,
I'd try it if I saw it.
Is it
try
grass-fed milk or is it made in some factory with cows that never see the sun?
They're still milking white milk, so I don't think that they're,
Why it got to be white?
Yeah, quit being racist about milk.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
I don't think it is white when it comes out anyways, and it's sort of like a yellowish color or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all the fat's still in it.
But I
You ever
think-
eat raw milk? Delicious.
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm knock-kneed.
You don't have rickets, though. That's
Nah, but my granny always used to say that. That's why I was knock-kneed, because I drink unpasteurized milk.
Yummy.
Yeah.
I might try it. But I don't like flavored milk. I just want milk.
If I was a kid, though, and you gave
yeah.
me a box of Lucky Charms and blue milk,
Yeah.
oh, my God.
They should have been 35 years ago, 40 years ago.
Well, then make it now. You could do it now.
Or you can just get regular milk and eat blueberry.
I mean, you could.
I don't recommend
or you could do blue on blue.
No, I don't recommend blueberry when you're 50, because it's just when you're a kid, your colon can handle it. When you're 50, your colon wants it out as fast as it goes in.
Beetlejuice. Have you seen the trailer?
The juice is loose.
with Jenna Ortega as the Winona Ryder role. And Winona Ryder, and you have Catherine O'Hara, Moira. We got her back.
Oh.
And then, of course, Keaton as
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Why no Jeffrey Jones?
He is in the trailer.
Yeah, they're, well, from the old
Isn't he
movie.
dead?
No, they're burying.
He's alive.
That's who they're burying at the first.
Yeah. Why though? Why? Because of his
Diddler?
problem?
Well,
He's not
I
a
mean,
diddler. He had a book, an art book.
the way they're going about it doesn't make any sense. The premise of the movie is you see people in the afterlife
Yes.
and not show him is going to be weird.
He was on Deadwood. I thought he, was forgiven.
Well, I don't know. I don't know why they didn't have him in there. I mean, I guess they just decided to go that way with the storyline. And Justin Theroux is going to play the Ozo, or whatever his name is. The
Otho.
Otho, yeah.
Yeah.
Otho dead, that actor?
Yeah, is
Yeah.
he dead
Yeah,
too?
he is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's too bad. That was such a great character in that movie. I love the first movie. I can watch it over and over again. It's one of the few Tim Burton movies I can watch over and over again, like Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Batman 1 and 2.
Yeah, I love it. It is really good.
And Keaton actually looks the age like he's supposed to
Yeah.
as Beetlejuice.
I wonder if Gina Davis is going to make. Well, I guess they couldn't do that.
And Alec Baldwin won't be in it.
That's what I was going to say. Then they're not going to have her in it either, I'm sure.
Yeah,
But it
I was
looks good. Jenna Ortega, I'm a huge fan of hers ever since.
I like her too. She's
Love her.
talented. Good actress.
Yeah, she is. She's great. So I think we'll probably all definitely watch the Beetlejuice reboot, considering that it has Keaton as Beetlejuice.
Yes, and I fell for some clickbait that I posted in the notes, but I pulled it away like the reviews are bad. Like, what are you talking about? The movie didn't come out till September.
Right.
No one's screening it yet.
The screening reviews. Well, I know Jeff is jacked to the max about Sydney Sweeney possibly doing this Barbarella reboot.
Yeah, what movie did you jack off in? This will be a reboot of that.
That never happened.
Oh, E.T. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh God! When he was phoning home.
No, when he was all white and laying by the river.
All ashy.
Yeah. Yeah. Die, alien, die. I watched Barbarella one time. I must have been 11 or 12 using hormones, but
Who's going to play Duran Duran?
Yeah, I don't know.
Simon Le Bon. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
They're saying your buddy might direct it though, Dustin. Edgar Wright.
Oh, Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright.
That would be cool. That'd be really cool.
He might put a nice spin on it. Well, hear about Rebel Wilson. She's got her memoir coming out, and she claims that Sacha Baron Cohen is threatening her because she wrote some unsavory things about him in her memoir about when they were filming The Brothers Grimsby, that he harassed her to do a nude scene because he thought it would be funny. And she refused up until the last day. He ended up getting a body double to do the nude scene. But then wanted her to stick her finger in his butthole for this one scene. And she,
Anything for a laugh, right?
basically, and she flat out refused to do it. She was not going to do it. And she said that he was very, very crappy to her about the whole thing. And he's saying that that's all bullshit, that he didn't say anything or do anything to be intimidating or what have you. So
He's uncancelable, so nothing will happen to him. I don't know. It's probably true. I mean, he's gross. He's a gross comedian. And he's probably right that it would have been funny. But if she didn't like it, he should have just shut up,
I agree. She seems like
will
a
you put
pretty nice girl.
Right.
She
Will
seems
you
pretty
put your
nice.
finger in my ass? No. Okay, end of story. But
She said he would not let it go. He just kept on and kept on about it. She's like, I'm
That's his
not
job
sticking
as
my
a
finger in your
producer.
ass. I'm not doing it.
that's his job. You know?
I mean, it might be his job, but I really feel like that would be outlined in your contract before you even got going with this, is that at some point you're going to have to stick your finger in my butthole. So a lot of times people are going to say, no, not doing this movie. So that should have been put out there.
Yeah,
What was the other guy in the movie, the brother? It had to be in his contract that he was going to put Sacha Baron Cohen's nuts on his forehead
Yeah.
in that movie. So, like, the stuff that happened in that movie, her putting her
That's in all
finger
the
in his
deaths.
ass is minimum.
Mark Strong.
large
Yeah.
trouble. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's in every contract Jeff signs. Is he has to put his balls on you.
And even if it's not, Jeff's going to do it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my last little thing here, some confusion with Euphoria season 3. You know, Angus MacLeod, he died very unfortunately last year, which was sad. And the cast alone, they're in such high demand with Jacob Elordi and his whole Saltburn stuff. And he's in a bunch of crap. And obviously Zendaya is huge. But so season 3, they said was put on hold, but then other people are saying that it's canceled. But HBO says, no, it's not canceled. We just haven't gotten around to starting to film it yet. They were saying that it was going to come out in 2025. Now they're backing off of that date as well. They haven't even started filming it because they can't get everybody together. Do you feel like this is one of those things where they're just going to end up letting it go?
I don't know. HBO doesn't like cancel stuff like that. They'll let them make it whenever they want to, I think. Even if it's in 10 years or something.
I was going to say they'll have to do a time jump.
I
Yeah.
don't think I can edge that long.
But I would like to see season 3. I'd like to see how they would wrap it up. Hopefully that Rue would get off drugs finally, once and for all. Maybe.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I know you didn't watch this show, Tim, but it is a great
I have
show.
seen one clip from that show at least 10,000 times on Reddit. I don't know
I'm
how
going to say that it's the Sydney Sweeney getting banged in the bathroom.
Well, that's one of them. It just shows
Is
up.
that
in-
what show
look,
that's
I don't-
from?
Yeah, I don't. I look. I don't go looking for these things. They just show up. They're suggested, sort of like the scene in True Detective season 1 when what's her name?
Alexandria Daddario.
Yeah, for some reason that just keeps showing up, and I'm not looking for these things. I'm not into that sort of thing anymore. I'm too old.
And you know what I always think of from that scene with Alexander Daddario? I always think about whenever he goes to work and McConaughey's like, pew, pew.
Yeah.
Well, let
That's
me
what I
tell
always
you
think
why.
about.
Why that it was. It's because she was not using Smell-A-Fresh, which you can get exclusive from the Bernie podcast, 10% off. Try the Korean barbecue, coconut, lavender, or strawberry. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt your show.
Guys, Radio Labyrinth is brought to you by Atlanta Pizza in Euro. Atlanta Pizza in Euro is ready for the winter season with over 40 beers. Well, the winter season's almost over, but that doesn't stop Mike from being ready all the time. 40 beers in cans and bottles, 16 beers on tap, with 12 of those being local Georgia and Southeast craft beers. Their current featured selection is Jekyll Brewing's Cooter Brown Ale. This brown ale is perfect for wintertime, and it has a silky smooth body, sweet caramel and chocolate aroma, and a slightly refreshingly bitter finish. They once again would like to help thank all the radios and fans for listening to the podcast. Stop by the restaurant and mention you heard about them on Radio Labyrinth and get yourself a free dessert. By the way, their food truck is on hiatus. It's almost off a hiatus because it's almost March. And it will be March when the show comes out, so I don't know. But if you want it, call Mike Hall at 770-483-6228. Don't forget they're open for dine-in and takeout Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Saturdays, they're open from noon to 9 p.m. and they are closed on Sunday. Do you have a commercial or residential construction printing need? Well, what are you waiting for? Contact LDI Repro Printing of Athens. They've been in Athens, Georgia since 2005. With a fast turnaround and affordable prices. Call 706-316-9366, or you can email them at athens@ldiline.com.
Guys, are you reading the online comments?
Gotta read some of these comments.
I'm loving your guys' comments.
You're reading your own comments?
Yeah, they're really good. I worked hard on them.
The secret is don't read the comment cards.
Some of your YouTube comments. So please, if you want to leave a comment for us on our YouTube video, leave one and we'll read it. It's that simple. Or you can leave it on somewhere else. We're not really good at checking social media. But you guys, by the way, in the Radio Shack contribute some of the funniest shit. So thank you very much for doing that. And all of that jazz. Wyborn says, yay, you got in the algorithm for mentioning Joe Rogan. Now, I don't know if that's somebody we know or if that's somebody being smart, but thank you.
And it's true.
Yeah. That is true. Fuchsy says he's at Flash Fuchs, but it's Fuchsy. He says couldn't hear a thing over Dustin's hoodie. Yeah,
the Dustin abides.
Yeah, dude. Mr. Dong 101 said, "What was up with the sexy voice when you mentioned Sebastian Gorka?" I was just doing the way he speaks when he's talking about Donald J. Trump, the greatest president of all time, is going to soon be returning to the White House. That's how he sounds sometimes. Mike Diefenbach 9151 wrote, Jeffrey Lewis. And Fuchsy came back in and said, triggered shyster.
Yeah, you triggered Fuchsy with your shyster talk stuff.
Sorry, Fuchs. I didn't mean to do that.
Yes, well, you should apologize. We have one more from Hemp Huntress 7970, who says, great memories watching this. I hope you bring on my buddy who was on an episode. And she's talking about our Patreon-only show, which you can get on Patreon if you're a member, where we watched an episode of Remote Control from 1988. He's a great storyteller and a total Gen X pop culture geek. So we are working on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We should watch it with him.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
I'm readjusting the merch store. We had a lot of comments this week on previous images that were on our old T-shirt site that people wanted to either get a new shirt because it kind of wore out. So I'm going to collect those images and put them on a new series of shirts. Plus, Steph came up with a new shirt too. So I'm going to readjust those and get them in the store. But everything that we have in the store now is still available if you want to check out and use that RLP123 for 10% off.
Awesome. Thank you, Dustin.
Mine's a sexy shirt.
It is?
Yeah.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Got a big hole in the front for the boobs.
No, it's one in the crotch for the balls.
Oh, yeah,
it's a long shirt.
Yeah. For the old people, your balls, let them hang.
That would be a good look, though. You know, you just come in and you're like, what is that? And it's like, oh, there's a hole in your shirt and your balls are coming through your shirt. It's just it's unique.
E.T. Eddie Torres, extraterrestrial.
All right, Jeff, we're going to do views and snooze here in a second, but I just want to say that I didn't have a lot of time to watch TV. I've been listening to Steely Dan.
No, really, Aja?
Excessively listening to Steely Dan, yes. I went through their entire catalog almost.
Wow.
And keep listening.
And Jack, do it again.
Yeah.
So you got to go back, Jack, and do it again.
How funny, I was playing that in the car and I changed it, and Gilbert goes, I want to hear more Back Jack, more Back Jack.
Oh, God, I love Gilbert.
He goes,
love him.
Back Jack.
It's my favorite song of all time. One of my favorite songs of all time.
That album, Can't Buy a Thrill, is so fucking awesome. The song about John Lennon that I never knew was about John Lennon is great. You know that song on that album? Only a fool would say that.
Oh, I didn't realize it was about John Lennon.
Yeah, it's clapping back at Imagine. And they came out, I always think of this album as coming out in like 1978. No, it came out in 71. And it had Skunk Baxter, you know, from the Doobie Brothers. They changed bands all the time, and they eventually just went into studio. Asia is my favorite album of theirs, but if I had to pick one. But yeah, I just have been obsessively listening to them and podcasts, and I did watch a little TV, and then I'll shut up. I already mentioned Quiet on the Set. I watched the first episode of Three Body Problem, so I can't read any more of Jeff's spoiler email.
I can't read it either, Jeff. I saw half of it, and I was into it, but I just didn't get to finish it.
Watch Curb, which was hilarious.
Yeah, I'm going to get that cheese from your house before the week's over.
And what do you mean? Possession is 9/10 law. That episode, the whole episode is fun. The last two have just been great, and a lot of good stuff with the late Richard Lewis. What that's a smell. I just want you to get in the car with me. Anyway, and then Hot Cross Buns, which was Dave Attell's newest special. A lot of new jokes, but pretty much the same thing Jeff and I saw when we went to see him.
Yeah. It was good, though.
We haven't mentioned it, but we both enjoyed our show that we went to.
Danny Gould.
Yeah, very funny. And he was so nice at the end.
Yeah.
Even those old ladies wouldn't get out of the way. We heard you on the radio, and you're so funny. They were drunk. Well, you were so nice.
They love Mark Arum, and they don't know who the Von Hessler doctrine is.
How do you know that?
I don't. I'm just making funny.
Hey, you're allowed to like Mark Arum. I like Mark Arum.
He stole your time slot.
He didn't steal my time slot. Don't start fights you don't know anything about. It was beneficial to both shows. So that's the secret sauce. But Mark's awesome, so don't besmirch Mr. Arum.
You did see Klinger's wife, though, in Three Body Problem, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's Klinger's wife? The woman at the beginning?
Yeah. But then later on, it's her. It wasn't her at the beginning.
Yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Views.
Or.
Snooze.
Yeah, last week was Top Chef, which I watched, which is pretty good. I didn't miss Padma at all. Yeah, Three Body Problem, I watched all of it. X-Men 97, I watched the first one. Then I feel a little misled because there's only like 10 X-Men in it.
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be like 97.
It's pretty good, though.
Yeah.
Does it stay true?
Yeah. And when I started thinking about that, you were worried about last week that they were going to kind of push a different kind of, that it was going to be more woke or whatever. Yeah. But when you think about it, all of those shows, G.I. Joe, they were woke anyway.
Yeah, they weren't woke. They just to begin with.
Yeah, but they weren't woke. They just represented life. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, now we're just going to split hairs between what woke means.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hey, kid, knock off all the downloading. I'm a computer.
That's my favorite G.I. Joe.
And Roadhouse, which was not good.
No, it wasn't good. I don't even want to watch it.
I can't stand Conor McGregor for one thing. But don't make a movie that didn't need to be remade. Roadhouse is a classic. No one's tuning in going, oh, man, now I'm going to go watch the original.
This week, that Steve documentary, Steve Martin, comes out on Apple TV.
Mm-hmm. Both
we talked about that a little last week. I think both episodes will probably come out maybe one day and one the next day.
Stoked.
Yeah, I'm psyched for that.
Yep.
Parish, the new Giancarlo Esposito show on AMC. Looks pretty good.
Everything. It's like, can we get Giancarlo Esposito in this? Yes.
He's coming to Dragon Con too. He's like the first celebrity guest they announced.
Who? Giancarlo Esposito?
Yeah. That looks good. Bradley Whitford, Skeet Ulrich. Looks pretty good show.
I was thinking about not going, but I might go now.
The Magic Prank Show with Justin Willman comes out on April 1st.
Is that good?
I think that looks good. Justin Willman's a good magician. And this is
funny.
This isn't like another Carbonaro effect kind of where he like fucks with people. And that's the true purpose of magic, just to fuck with people.
I hope he's wearing disguises because he's very recognizable.
Especially after his Netflix show got so big. Right. Magic for Humans.
I just wish he would do magic with cupcakes.
All right. Out of that, I'm going to watch Steve for sure. And that's probably it. I'm going to be.
I think I'm going to like the first one more than the second one.
Why? You don't like Roxanne?
I like all his movies and his acting and stuff, but I was really into the stand-up Steve Martin days.
One of my guests that I'll talk about in a few minutes about the Popcast, my guest this week on the radio show, he and I were talking about old Steve Martin albums.
Nice.
All right, let's do staff picks. Mine this week, speaking of the comedian that I'm about to talk to on the radio tonight, TJ Miller. Comedy album is Smooth Peanut Butter, and you can stream that wherever. It's an old school stand-up comedy record. If you like TJ Miller, you're going to like it.
You already mentioned mine. Mine was David Tell's Hot Cross Buns. That was going to be mine staff pick for this week.
It was
fun. It's good. It's basically the show that we saw, though.
Enough new jokes that if you saw him live, that he's always updating himself.
And all that shit with all the people in the audience playing the recorders.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
And then the thing at the end with the seals.
Uh-huh.
That was awesome. Mine is Dimitri Martin's got a new stand-up special coming out on the
finally
2nd.
Did he get Me Too'd?
No.
Or something was up with him.
He was sick for a while.
Yeah, but he had ran into some problems with other people, I guess. I don't know. What was he sick with?
I don't know what it was.
Well, he's funny as shit.
Recovered now.
Good. Steph, you got one?
Yeah, mine is that new show on Netflix. It's number 2 today, but I went through all 5 episodes in a day. Homicide New York.
Homicide New York, NBC.
Yeah, it's it's a documentary show, but it's produced by Dick Wolf, and it has that big Dick Wolf energy too, like that Law and Order type of thing. It's excellent, and all of these cops, they're all like grizzled veterans from the New York homicide, from the Manhattan, the upper and the lower precincts, and it's a great show. And all of the cases are, they're pretty gritty, but I really think you'll like it if you like true crime. It's a really good true crime thing, and also Future and Metro Boomin's new album, We Don't Trust You, is really good.
I'll be checking that out. Who's Future? What band was he? What group was he in?
He's never been in a group.
See, I knew. I was just testing you. Thank you, everybody. Hey, let's do some plugs. I do a radio show every week on WSB Radio in Atlanta, 95.5 FM, 750 AM, if you so choose. And you can also listen on the WSB Radio app if you don't happen to live in the city. It's live 7 p.m. Saturday nights, which means if you're watching and listening today as this comes out, it's tonight. But it also becomes a podcast on the following Monday. Most recent episodes, my interview with Phil Hendry, which people have been telling me they really liked. I even had people write me and say they'd never heard of him before and went and looked up his stuff and absolutely love him. And I love that. I love that kind of feedback. And then Mark Pettit, the author, I hope you guys had a chance to listen to that. He was an anchorman who got fired. If you can believe this, he was fired from a TV station in Atlanta for being gay. And, that was, you think, that was 1,000 years ago. No, this was in the early 90s, 92, 93, which is ridiculous to think that could have happened. And
that's why you're going to get fired.
Because I'm not. He said that today it's almost a prerequisite, which he was kidding. But he's a funny guy. It was a fun interview, and you get the whole interview unedited, a podcast. Tonight, though, if you're going to listen, or the most recent radio episode, my guests are going to be Justin Marks and Rachel Kondo. They are married, and they are the co-creators of Shogun, which you can watch on FX or Hulu.
Oh, I thought you were going to interview James Clavell.
No.
He died in 1994 anyway.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
He's the guy that wrote the book Shogun.
Oh, no, I'm not interviewing him. No, these are the TV show runners and creators of this updated version of an original miniseries from the 80s. And then 3 segments with TJ Miller, just shooting the shit, having a good time, and talking about comedy records and Gilbert and his podcast and the peanut butter that he sells. And he was a really cool guest. And we hit it off and had a lot of fun. Coming up soon, my new friend, Dickie Barrett, who is the former lead singer of Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, used to be on Jimmy Kimmel Live, announcer. And now he has a new band called The Defiance. They have a new album out that you can stream on Spotify. So that'll be coming up next week. And also Aaron Weber. I got all sorts of things booked, and it's fun and everything like that. So, hey, if you would like to become a Radio Labyrinth Patreon member and support us and watch our Patreon on the show every week, just go to patreon.com/Tim Andrews and sign up at any level to watch the Patreon channel and interact with us. Like I said, leave comments there if you're already a member. Or you could become a producer at the $25 level, which gives you a credit. And you'll get a shirt from our merch store, some stickers and stuff. We need to get new stickers made. So you guys have any ideas, let us know. I'm talking to you guys or listeners too. Executive producers at the $25 level are Tim Slayton, Brian and Chelsea Smith. That's right. If you're a married couple or you're 2 people that want to get together and pool it, we'll do that too. Jeff Peterson, Jim Fortner, Terry Fuller, Chris Chandler, Roby Neely, Kevin Jackson, Mike D, and Matt Carter. So thank you very, very much. Steph, what's going on with Barkville?
Sunday, April 7th, come on out to the monthly Caffeine and Octane show at the Kennesaw Town Center. You get to see lots of cool cars, but even cooler dogs who could really use your home. So if you're looking or interested, we have lots of puppies right now. And we've got dogs of every size, every age, all ready to come and be your best friend. You know, so if you're a lonely piece of crap and everybody hates your guts, you can buy a friend, and a real friend, one that'll really be there for you. So go to barkvilledogrescue.org. You can fill out an adoption application that doesn't obligate you to do anything, but it'll help us figure out what dog would be the best one for you, or if you want to foster or volunteer, or give us money. Go to barkvilledogrescue.org. Woof. Keep it canine.
Keep it canine.
Keep it canine. And the rest of yous, first of all, thank you, Step. Enjoy your, I know you're not going to enjoy it, but
I'll enjoy it.
Enjoy your time up north, and we hope your mom makes it through okay and with flying colors and all that jazz.
She already has her bag packed for the hospital. Her surgery's in a week.
She's excited. She's excited to get out of the house and to be fed terrible food.
I guess so.
Yes, well, good. Dustin, thank you for not wearing that sweatshirt again.
You're welcome.
Jeff, thank you for being you and all that you do. And thank you, everybody. See, this is a new me. I'm thanking people. And thank you all for listening. And if you're new, please stay with us. Let us know what you think.
It's the Smello Fresh.
That's right. Smello Fresh.
Don't steal my spots. Don't steal my spots.
And it's about to be April in the D.
Hell yeah.
The D.
Yep.
Old in the D. How the fuck are we supposed to get peace?
We're not going to get peace.
One of my favorite songs of all time. All right, we'll talk to you next week. Please remember to keep it canon.
Well, please say all good things come to an end.
What's that got to do with this show?